How's it going, guys? It's Byron here at Modern Muscle Extreme. Today we're going to do a new product showcase on our MMX HEMI SRV controller. So for those of you that don't know what this is or what it does, this allows the use of a 6.4 liter intake manifold on an RT powered or 5.7 powered Charger, Challenger, 300, Jeep Durango, anything with a 5.7 in it, and you want to put the 6.4 intake manifold on it, this is what you need. So basically what this does is this controls the SRV valve, or the active runner valve, in the back of the intake manifold. It switches from long runner at lower RPM to short runner at a higher RPM. So here at MMX, we always advocate for making the SRV functioning, because we have done some dyno testing, we've locked it out and ran it on our dyno, and then we've had it active and ran it on our dyno, and there is about a 30 horsepower difference versus with it functioning versus it not functioning, which is really, really huge. So if you want to get the most power out of your 6.4 intake manifold swap, this is what you need. So I went and grabbed a SRV controller harness and controller itself straight off of our shelf here at Modern Muscle. This is right out of our warehouse, so I'm going to grab that, we're going to cut that open and check it out. So this is the box it comes in, nothing fancy. Alright, so we got our box open here. First thing, we have color instructions. One thing we also like to do here at MMX is put our instruction manual as a PDF in the product itself. So when you're looking at this product online, you will be able to download that, and you can actually look at the installation instructions before you even get the product, which is pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead here. We've got our controller and our harness. I'm going to use my car here as a little bit of a workbench. So get that box out of here. So obviously we have the controller itself, and it has a rotary knob here, and basically all this is the set point RPM at which you want the SRV to activate. So this is where you're going to set this, where you want the intake to go from long runner to short runner. So what we found in our testing is the stock camshaft cars, they like to be right around the 4850 set point for best power. That sort of helps get the dip out of it. And then aftermarket cammed cars like to be around the 5150 set point. But we do have adjustability from 4100 here all the way to 5750 RPM. So it's a 12 position switch. So you have, adjustability. You can set this wherever you want. So that's the brains of the operation. All right. So one of the things that we wanted to do on our wiring harness was make it super plug and play and super easy to install. So basically our harness comes pre-terminated. You only have to crimp one connection on the entire thing. So basically we have a relay here, and then we have a 12 volt power. This is going to go directly to the power lug on your fuse box under hood. So actually where you would hook your jumper cables to, you'll just pop that off, unscrew the nut, and then this has a pre-terminated eyelet or ring terminal here that you're just going to drop right on there and tighten up. We have a coil, plug and play coil connector. So this actually uses the reads off of the coil to pick up RPM. So you will simply unplug your coil, you'll plug one side of this into your ignition coil, and then you plug your original car harness into the other side here. Moving on around here, we have quite a bit of extra length on the harness here. This is going to run all the way inside of the car and plug into your actual controller itself. And then this is going to plug into the back of the intake manifold, the actual short runner valve itself. This is the plug-in for that. And then we have this yellow wire here. This is you're going to pick one of the two included fuse taps here. You're going to crimp this on, and then you're going to put this in the ASD fuse spot. So you take your existing ASD fuse out, you'll put it in the receiver here, and then you'll plug that into your fuse box. We'll crimp that like that, and then you're up and going. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you guys in a little closer so you can actually see the installation on my car here. All right guys, so we've moved in here for a little closer view under the hood of my car, just so I can show you guys a little bit about how the harness goes in here and how it's routed. So we'll start off with our actual relay itself. There is a very convenient little tab on Chargers and Challengers here that you can mount the actual relay to with a nut and bolt. So we'll mount that up there. We have our inline fuse here that is going to come up to this power lug that I was talking about earlier. Right under our fuse box here, you can simply, fold the little cap over, take that nut off, drop our ring terminal on, tighten it back up. That part's done. We move on to our fuse box here. Pop my fuse box cover off here. Basically, we're looking for the ASD fuse in our actual fuse box. So we take the ASD fuse out, we put it into our power tap, or our fuse tap here. We put that back down. Obviously, like I said, you'll have to crimp the actual fuse tap on itself, because there are a few different style of fuse taps or fuses that Chrysler has used over the years, so we include both of them, so you can put this on basically anything. Put our fuse box cover on here, and one thing to note, like on the later model fuse boxes here, you will have to make a very small notch in your fuse box there for the wire to come through. So not really a big deal. That can be done with a Dremel tool. Moving on around here to our ground, you can put the ground here, again, where you would hook your jumper cable to. Very simple, just take this nut off, pre-terminated ring terminal there, drop that on, tighten that back up, and then I'm going to move around here to the other side. So on this side, you're going to bring your harness. It's going to come around the back. Obviously, use some common sense and zip tie the wiring harness up so that it doesn't fall onto a header or something. You're going to bring your harness, route your harness on around the back here. You're going to plug it into the actual SRV valve itself, which is located right here on the back of the intake manifold. So that larger connector is going to go and plug into this motor on the back of the intake. We're going to bring our harness on around here, and it's going to plug into our coil. We found that this coil here is just the easiest one to grab with the way that our harness is routed. So obviously mine's already set up here, but you're going to unplug your factory coil connector off. You're going to plug our SRV harness into the factory ignition coil, plug our factory ignition coil plug into our SRV harness, and then we're going to go ahead and route the rest of our harness, which is back here. We're going to route it through a rubber grommet. Once you pop this panel off here, you will see there is a rubber grommet that goes into the firewall that's located right about here. You can poke a very small hole into that, and then you can pass our 6-pin connector through that, and then you have the freedom to mount the SRV controller inside basically wherever you want. I mean, you can run it over to the glove box and put it in there. You can put it behind the kick panel. Mine is just in the little, I call it the little cubby hole that's on the side of the actual console itself. So like I said, guys, give you a lot of wire, give you a lot of freedom to mount it wherever you want, and we really wanted this product to be super easy and plug and play. So there you have it. There's the MMX HEMI SRV controller.